These stocks are getting ready to explode this week. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm Kyle with Finance Bro, and we're going to be talking about a variety of different stocks that I'm planning on either investing in, buying, selling, or trading this week in the markets. This is February, of course. We are now officially in February. Today is the 5th, and we're going to be looking at a lot of interesting players in the market. And first things first, before we get into some of these like Tesla and a bunch of other stocks that we're going to be talking about in just a moment, I'd really recommend hitting the first link down in the description below and joining our Discord. This is how you get access to our buy and sell alerts that we put out on a daily basis by joining our premium section. All you have to do is go to the join us section right here, head on over down to the link right here, click this link, go in here. We have all different types of pricing options to choose from, whichever one works the best for you. You obviously can go ahead, log in with Discord, get in there, and of course get access to all of our different trading opportunities and of course just in general our buy and sell journals that we post on a daily basis. But let's talk about stocks, right? Of course, this is a big week for a lot of different big players. We're going to be getting into all those other players in a moment, but first things first, I want to stop by Tesla. Tesla has been making a lot of waves in the market just over the last couple of days, especially with a recent announcement in price targets. Price targets are, of course, what analysts are oftentimes putting out in order to get a better idea of where they think the stock is headed in the next coming months or potentially years. These price targets typically affect overall buying sentiment, right? Whether or not retail investors, large investors, small, large investors alike are buying these stocks. And if we look at Tesla right now, the overall price target at a high is about $338, which presents a 78% upside purely off of buying shares, not including options, right, or anything like that. That's purely just off of a share basis. We have a median price target of about $195, and we have a low of about $24 per share. As you can see, Tesla is currently trading at about $192.70 per share. And if we look at the median, it's $195. Not too far off from that median price target. But please remember that if we even look at this overall stock over the last year, we're down just about 35%. Which means that this price target has already been hit at least once. Why are we talking about price targets, though, you may ask? A big reason why we're talking about those is that just recently Tesla had an overwhelming consensus from a variety of different stock-based analysts say basically that Tesla deserves an upgrade. What is the upgrade to? To being a buy. A lot more analysts now more than ever believe that Tesla is a buy at these prices, at the discounted prices that we're seeing from just over a year ago, using that basis as a kind of determinant of where Tesla is. And a lot of people are agreeing that Tesla is potentially ready to, of course, start on that upward trend here in the coming months or potentially the coming year. In my opinion, guys, from my own personal buying standards and the way that I trade, I will personally be holding this long term. This is more of a long-term stock that I'm not really planning on selling anytime soon, and it's something that I'm very comfortable with holding for the near-term future. Now, keeping that in mind, of course, you can also trade Tesla. Tesla is a very easy stock to trade because there's so much volatility. Volume is no stranger to Tesla. Tons of people trade Tesla on a daily basis. And of course, when that kind of thing happens, we see a lot of movement in the overall price on a day-to-day basis, right? Huge pumps like this intraday. And of course, just in general, lots of moves throughout the week that help us kind of plan out these different types of day trades in the intra-trading session. Now, keeping all of that in mind, Tesla is still, in my opinion, a long-term buy for myself. I do trade it on occasion, and of course we talk about those trades in the Discord, which is why you have to join if you haven't already. It's an amazing, obviously, group where you can get access to our daily buy and sell alerts. But let's talk about the other companies that we're going to be going over. So we have a huge week in earnings this week, guys. We have huge companies that are going to be reporting. We have Disney, PayPal, Pinterest, Robinhood, Affirm, Uber, Lyft, Cloudflare, Fortnite, Fortinet, Wendy's, Chipotle, Pepsi, Kellogg, and a host of other large blue chip Fortune 500 companies that are going to be reporting on earnings. Now, something to take away from this, guys, this means that the overall market, especially it seems in the tech and consumer goods sectors, are going to be putting up numbers. Whether or not those numbers are good and how the overall market interacts will, of course, affect the overall market in what we know as, of course, SPY or even VTI, which tracks the overall entire market indice. As you can see here, SPY has not had a great couple of days over just the last couple of days. It did kind of pull back here on February 2nd in that last last intraday session of trading. But if you actually look further back, the overall week was very, very successful. We saw huge pumps towards the upside and in general, a lot of good movement there. Now, if we want to dive a little bit deeper into this though, we can tell that with these earnings, again, remember, it's very likely that earnings are going to cause a lot of volatility in the markets. So if you are risk adverse, if you don't like a lot of risky type of plays or risky type of movement in the stock market and you're planning on day trading or swing trading this week, I would highly recommend maybe taking a seat on the bench for this week. There's a lot of big players reporting earnings. Those earnings can oftentimes affect the overall price of the market in major market indices because, of course, one starts to happen, one starts to sell off. Typically, others will also start to sell off as well. Keep that in mind. Some of the big players I'm going to be looking at, Disney. Disney, of course, has been killing it with the earnings as of late. We can even go pull them up, of course, on Robinhood. However, there are some people who are not big fans of Disney. The Disney bears will have cited these last 2 quarters of kind of lower performance earnings. As you can see, they're expected to have higher earnings at about 0.73% or 0.73 cents a share. That will be available February 8th after hours. That's coming up soon. And just in general, we'll have to see what happens there. But remember, guys, earnings is always a risky play. There's no way to tell for sure every single time these types of things come out which way they'll go. That's why I always tend to only trade lottos on these. If I'm trading options, I'm only trading with a couple of contracts and I'm doing very, very small amounts. So that way I don't lose my initial capital if it goes the wrong way, which oftentimes it very well can. Another big one we're looking at, Robinhood. Robinhood has had kind of a rocky little bit of the last couple of weeks. Again, we have to take a look here though, because of course, well, we're on Robinhood right now. It's kind of, pulled up here with the rest of the market as SPY has done very well over the last week, up 32% just in the last month. But again, long-term wise, this is not a company that I'm comfortable holding long-term. That being said, there is obviously some room for a potential arbitrage play with their overall earnings. They've been pretty tight within the estimates and nothing really crazy there to really kind of knock them out of the park. They're expected to report on February 8th as well. February 8th is going to be a very, very big day for earnings, guys. So be careful out there. If you're trading on that day, be careful. The overall market is going to be very, very volatile. And the last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about Uber, right? Uber is kind of one of my favorite puts style plays that I like to trade puts on when I can, just because of how volatile it is and how even when we see these large run-ups like we just saw the last week, we're up about, about 11% here in the last week. I would not be surprised if we start to see a lot more bearish momentum here, especially leading up to earnings. We might see a little bit of bullish pops with that earnings excitement, but again, I would not be too bullish. Again, their overall earnings have not been great over the last 2 quarters, and I wouldn't expect anything different from quarter 4. Again, nothing's really changed fundamentally with their business model, and I'm not expecting to see any massive changes as far as bearish or bullish momentum. I am expecting, obviously, to play some puts off that, which I will alert in the free Discord, which you can join with the first link down in the description. Oh, also, if you guys want to pick up some free stocks and use this really cool app that is called Webull, this is what we use, obviously, to do technical analysis on a variety of different stocks, and we also use to trade with our personal portfolios. So if you haven't already, really recommend getting joined up with Webull. You get free stocks, and when you use our affiliate link, you support the channel and allow us to make more videos like this to help you guys out, understand the market more, and get more information out there. Other than that, though, guys, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I'm Kyle with Finance Bro. Take it easy.